study by a Chattanooga nonprofit finds specific ties between pretrial detention rates and lower income defendants. The report says the poverty rate has driven higher rates of detention in Hamilton County over the last 2 years.
They also claim this causes a majority of cases to be decided by a judge and not through a jury of their peers. News Channel 9's Sarah Howard joins us now to tell us more about all of this. Sarah.
Kim, Josh, a new report from Caleb claims that hundreds of people in Hamilton County are behind bars, not because they've been convicted of a crime, but because they can't afford bail. The report shows that over 60% of people arrested in the last 2 years weren't released before trial. It also found that 1 in 3 incarcerated individuals had a bond set but couldn't afford to pay it. Attorney Garth Best says this may leave many with a difficult choice.
The bond can be so high that the person's not able to post bond or their family. That's unfortunate because it could force someone into a situation where they do feel like they have to take a plea deal in order to get out of custody.
In this letter from 2024, responding to similar claims about unfairness in the pretrial release program, Hamilton County Attorney Reuben Taylor said those claims are grossly inaccurate. He says most individuals booked into Hamilton County Jail are released within 24 hours. Kim.
Sarah, thank you. Caleb is calling for more transparency and policy changes, but the Hamilton County Mayor's office says data on crime, arrests, and jail numbers are already available to the public. They point to the Hamilton County report that shows crime data.
Hamilton County leaders are disputing claims made by a report on pretrial incarceration rates. Good evening, I'm Latricia Thomas.
And I'm Josh. We told you yesterday about a new report from Chattanooga's in Action for Love, Equality, and Benevolence, otherwise known as Caleb. The organization claims in the report that poverty and race are primary drivers behind pretrial detention.
The report also claims an overwhelming majority of defendants who pleaded guilty received the maximum sentence. Now, Hamilton County is responding to the reports of claims, calling them misleading.
News Channel 9's Sarah Howard brings us update today on the county's reaction to this report. Sarah.
Josh, Latricia, the report titled Looking Through the Bars analyzes arrest, jail, and court data from the past 2 years. It suggests that the county's criminal justice system disproportionately impacts black defendants and low-income individuals. But one district attorney says the report is misleading.
It may even be unconstitutional, the process that is happening right now.
A recent report by Caleb claims that many people remain in the Hamilton County Jail before trial, not because they're guilty, but because they can't afford bail. The report found that 1 in 4 defendants is held without bond until their case is closed. 96% of all cases are decided by a judge in an off-the-record hearing, and 95% of all charges defendants plead guilty to receive a maximum sentence. Attorney Garth Best says many different factors go into whether or not a person is granted bail.
A defendant is entitled to bail unless it's a homicide case in Tennessee. Their criminal history goes into determining part of what is said about that, their ties to the community, and maybe whether or not they have a job, family members.
We asked several Hamilton County leaders about Caleb's findings. District Attorney Cody Womp told us that much of the report is misleading, especially the claim that 96% of cases are decided off the record. In a statement, she wrote, "Our general sessions courts are open each day of the week to the public and anyone else who wants to visit. Every case that is taken up is discussed in the open in front of all who are there." Womp also addressed the claim that defendants are being held without bond, stating this is typically due to violations of prior bond conditions. She also rejected the claim that 95% of defendants who plead guilty receive maximum sentences, calling it an outright lie, asserting that it misrepresents the realities of court proceedings.
The county, I think, is kind of notorious among a lot of groups in Chattanooga and Hamilton County for being very difficult, especially the Sheriff's Department, to obtain public records from.
The Hamilton County Sheriff's Office responded to this claim of a lack of transparency. HCSO spokesperson Matt Lee said, despite Caleb's allegation that the Sheriff's Office lacked transparency with respect to the data it releases, this office sent the Caleb project manager the data used to create this report. He also pointed to this annual report highlighting crime statistics in the county. The report concludes with several recommendations, including expanding citations in lieu of arrest and automatic pretrial release for eligible defendants. However, Womp says her office has no concerns about transparency or fairness in pretrial detention, saying law enforcement arrests criminals. We then prosecute those criminals. It's that simple. In fact, we are extremely supportive of the proposed constitutional amendment in Tennessee that would allow judges to deny bail for certain serious offenses. Violent offenders too often get out of jail and reoffend. Latricia.
Sarah, thank you. Caleb is affiliated with the National Bail Fund Network, the Tennessee Immigrant and Refugee Right Coalition, and Tennessee for All.